Hey guys, this is a live recorded tutorial on Argorok. Argorok is not really that easy of a boss. There's a lot of things to explain, so I thought I'd make this video to clear some things up. There's a couple of different ways you can do the flame skips, but the way I will show it now is by far the easiest method. It loses probably like 1 or 2 seconds, but it is extremely consistent. So consistent that, well, I've done it probably 100 times at this point and I still haven't failed it. But I have failed the slightly faster strat every now and then, so... As you can see, the vines are on the left side of the screen. If you do a frame perfect side up, you can skip the cutscene, so you can walk around in the arena. So I'll do this to explain some stuff. So as soon as the fight begins, like as soon as you skip the first cutscene, you want to head over to the left side of the arena and stand above this Peahat. I mean, you can stand here. You don't have to be exactly on top of it, but standing near this Peahat will make Argorok fly a certain way. Like, he will never do his claw attack where he swipes across the arena with his claws. It's very similar to like the boss in the Wind Waker. If you stand over here, he will just fly and then eventually reach the arena, and then he will be clawshotable instead of doing any other types of attacks. So since you're already here, you can refill on hearts if you feel like you need it. Anyway, you see him flying out in the open there, and as he's coming around this way, right before he reaches the arena, you hurry over to the middle. You want to be around here before he gets here, because as soon as Argorok gets here, he brings a lot of wind with him, so he will blow you away. So be here with iron boots on, about here. It's not really that precise. I wouldn't recommend being in the middle of the circle, because Argorok is directly above you, and you can't aim further up than this, so you might miss the tail. So I just stand on the outer ring like this, and I don't even aim for the tail like manually. I do a target aim. I just look up and like eventually you will get the target for the tail, and then I just hit L and release the Y button. Now, this is phase 1, and you bring him down, you knock some armor off, and then if you stood over here and did everything I just said, you will spawn after the cutscene. You will spawn about here, and Link will be facing this way. So during the cutscene, I hold control stick up, so as soon as I can move again, Link will turn around looking this way. And then as soon as I just see the scene shift, when I'm suddenly able to control Link again, my control stick up input will register, and then I will just immediately hit C up, and then aim with clawshot, and I will aim for this spot. I try to aim for anywhere near this line. It can be above, it can be directly on the line, it can be a bit under the line. It's no big deal. It's just you don't have the time to slowly aim like this and be like, okay, I want to be there. You need to just flick and get the correct target. So you will just go like this. You just release the control stick and release Y at the same time. And if your timing is correct, you will be somewhere around this line. And when you are this high above, you can hit L and you should be able to target the tail. And then you just release Y and there you go. You bring him down immediately again. And that is phase 1. So he then falls to the ground, there's a long cutscene. After the cutscene, you want to... of course you have iron bits equipped. Because you had that from the beginning of phase 1. You brought him down the first time, you still have iron bits on, so this is more accurate. You clawshot this, clawshot him, you still have iron bits on. Then you back hop, or side hop. Back hop is faster, like less airtime. And you unequip the iron boots during the back hop. And then you just find the nearest exit. Like, this is probably the closest to the edge after the cutscene. Because after you void out, you save a few seconds. I don't exactly remember why. It's probably something where like it resets Argorok's position or something, so you're able to attack him quicker in the beginning of phase 2. So phase 1 is over. You have voided out, and now you're just over here. You're like getting back up on your feet. So you roll over to the pillar closest to you. You don't need to equip Iron Boots the first time here, because Argorok is way up in the sky, and the wind just isn't blowing you. Like, his wings aren't blowing wind towards you. So you want to aim up as high as possible, and you want to aim up on the left side of the pillar, because you're going to go from this pillar to that pillar. So it's obviously better to be somewhere up on this side than this side, because this distance can make a difference. So you get close to the pillar. If you stand over here, it's okay. If you stand over here, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. You just try to aim up as high as you can and as far left as you can. So right now I can't aim further up, but maybe if I stood further back I could have. Yeah, right there. This is like the max range of the clawshot. You don't have to clawshot at the absolute max range, but the best thing would be to be as close to this line as possible. But again, it's no big deal. Just be as close left as possible and as high up as you can. And then you aim over to this one, and it's important to aim quickly in this fight. So by this point you should have mastered the quick aim technique by holding a control stick direction, holding Y and then tapping target to quickly go into the first person mode. This is really important for this fight, otherwise you lose precious time. And as you can see, you have a lot of like, you're definitely in range to reach this pillar, and you want to target above this line as well. So we always use the lines for visual cues. So as long as you target above this line, then you can just hold L to target the Peahat that will spawn here. If you are under the line, you can still, like, if you're barely under it, you can still hit L to target the Peahat. Sometimes, if you're too low, the target above the Peahat will not appear, but you can still aim at the Peahat. You just have to do it manually, because this goes slightly further than target aiming. So if you don't see a target on the Peahat, or like if this doesn't work, then you can look up, and then this your reticle should turn into a yellow target, meaning that you are close enough to target the Peahat, even though you don't see like the floating target above the Peahat. You can still target it manually. So that's something something to note. But generally you want to be above this line, and if you are above this line, then it's easy money. Anyway, you want to be on this side and not on this side over here. It's just the side closest to you, so when you are on this side of the pillar and you hit L, you will look to the Peahat to the left. Of course it works on the right as well, but it's further away, so you don't want to do that. So you hit L to target the Peahat, and then this is the really important part about the consistency of Argorok Flameskip. So there are other ways of doing this, and if you are like really good, you should probably look into this. But the time you can save by doing these other strats is just 1 or 2 seconds. It's very little time save. But by doing it this way, it will not fail. As long as you aim fast enough, it will not fail. So notice how Iron Boots are not on. I don't have them on. And I'm on this side, I'm hitting targets, so I will target the Peahat. And then I won't even charge up the clawshot like this and wait for the sound cue. That's what I used to do, but again, like, if you follow all these steps, then you shouldn't fail it. So I don't even charge the clawshot up like this, because now if I release, it'll fire immediately. But if I don't have it charged up, there is some slight delay before it fires, and that's good in this case actually. So Iron Boots not on, and we have not charged the clawshot, and we actually want this. So I'm just pressing target to target the Peahat, and as soon as I hear Argorok make a noise, I just hit and release Y. Then as soon as it, and you keep holding target. So you target the Peahat, the next Peahat. So we target this Peahat over here, and then the next one. And then you go around in a half circle. So you can just keep holding target. But as soon as you clawshot onto the first Peahat, you press X to equip Iron Boots as soon as you can. So again, if you have Iron Boots on beforehand, this might not work. This whole stratum showing off. So I like to not have Iron Boots on, and I like to not have the clawshot charged. Again, like, the most important thing is to not have Iron Boots on, but I do both of these things, and it works well, really well. So target to the Peahat, you hear the sound cue, hit and release Y, you clawshot the Peahat. As soon as you see the icon on Iron Boots fading back in, like right now you can see the Iron Boots icon, it's faded away while I'm clawshotting. That means I can't equip them while I am clawshotting. And the icon will fade away when you are traveling to the Peahat. But as soon as you see them fade in again, like that, and you can equip them, you press X to equip them, and then you will fall down. You know, because you're heavy, you'll bring the Peahat down. You're still holding targets, so you're targeting the next Peahat. And then as soon as the camera pans out, it's very obvious when it happens. Then you just hit and release Y. But I actually charged the clawshot for the next Peahats. So while I'm falling, I have the clawshot charged, because now it doesn't matter. Now the timing is fine. So the camera pans out, it's obvious when it happens, you release Y, or you can tap and release, it's fine. And now you're on to Peahat number 2, and then you just go for the third one immediately. So it's a lot of information. So we're on phase 2, okay? We're done with phase 1, we're on phase 2. Phase 2 has 3 cycles. This is phase 2, cycle 1. On cycle 1 and 2, you want to target 3 Peahats and then Argorok, or in order to reach Argorok. On cycle 3, you want to do it differently, and I'll get to that later. So you always want to count the Peahats. So from here, Peahat number 1, then you do the trick where you're falling with Iron Boots, you bring the Peahat down with you, and when the camera pans out, then you clawshot to the Peahat number 2, and that's flame skip. That's what's called flame skip. So you clawshot onto Peahat number 2, and then you can just immediately go for Peahat number 3, because you have already done flame skip. Like this part right here, waiting for the sound cue and targeting the first Peahat, is just setting up for flame skip. So Peahat number 2, you're on Peahat number 2, you target Peahat number 3, and then Argorok will now be to your right. So as soon as you can, you just hold down the Y button. You release L at this point because you don't want to target any more Peahats. You are in position to target reach Argorok. So you just hold Y, and Link will charge up the clawshot, and then he will enter the first person mode. And while you are charging the clawshot, you hold control stick right, so you immediately move it right. And then Argorok is, I think like Argorok should be the second pillar, so the pillar furthest to the right of the screen right now. And then you release. You just need to do a flick. You can aim slowly if you want to, but not too slow because you're falling down. So that speed is okay, but if you're aiming like this, it's way too slow. By the time you reach Argorok, you're too low, so you can't reach the crystal on his back. So I highly recommend just holding right and then stopping, and you can do a small adjustment afterwards if you want to. That is way better than aiming slowly, because if you aim too slow, you just won't reach him in time. So just hold and stop, and if you want to make a tiny adjustment, then just do that. It's better to react to the yellow target on his crystal than to like not see it and be like, did this work? Did this work? Maybe. So you can do a small adjustment at the end if you want to, and that's pretty good. And then, you know, you slash him 4 times or something, I don't even know. And then you bring him down. And you still have Iron Boots on, so you want to unequip the Iron Boots. But yeah, that's cycle 1. A lot of talking. It's been like 14 minutes already, but I've just explained cycle 1. But the good part is, cycle 1 and cycle 2 are exactly the same. The only difference between cycle 1 and 2... I'll try to not take damage here. Is that when you reach the bottom here, like, you backflip off of Argorok right before, like right as Argorok hits the ground, and then you have Iron Boots on, and during the backflip, like it's an automated backflip, you press X to remove Iron Boots, and then, let's see, you would end up probably somewhere like, would it be maybe here? Yeah. I always go for the right pillar. You can go for the left one, but again, I recommend going for what I'm showing you, otherwise you might get different results. So you back off of Argorok, and you press X to remove Iron Boots, otherwise you'll be walking around like this, as you're getting ready for cycle 2, and that's bad. So you roll like about 2 times. You can roll 3 times if you want to, but rolling 3 times might be bad, because you can get really close to the pillar and you might not, that was a bit exaggerated, but you might not be able to clawshot as high up as you want to. But yeah, you roll like 2 or 3 times depending, and then at this point you do a side hop and equip Iron Boots, because just pressing the button is kind of slow. It's faster to just side hop and equip, so just roll your thumb over A and X. And then quick aim, of course. And then you aim as high up as you can. And the reason why you want Iron Boots equipped this time is because now Argorok is right next to you, because you just brought him down. Whereas in cycle 1 you voided out and he's now far up in the air, like he was far up in the air. But cycle 2 you just brought him down with you, so he's right here. And when he is rising from the ground, his wings will cause a lot of wind that will blow towards you, and if you don't have Iron Boots on, you'll just kind of blow away like this. So that's why I want to have Iron Boots on at this point. And again, you just target as high up as possible. That was really good. And then you can see, like, you have, I can clawshot to the top if I want to, so I'm really close, so it's okay. But I only need to clawshot about this point. So I clawshot to the line or above the line. And then I have Iron Boots on, and I don't want this, so I need to quickly press X and then get ready for the Peahat thing again. Holding target, waiting for this audio cue. I hear Argorok make a noise. I clawshot the Peahat. I keep holding target because I want to go to the next Peahat. But of course I want to do flame skip first. So as soon as I hit the first Peahat, I press X as soon as I can, as soon as I'm onto the Peahat, and the icon is no longer faded like it is now, like it's back as it is now. Press Iron Boots, you will bring the Peahat down with you, and then when the camera pans out, that's when you hit Y to clawshot the next Peahat. You don't take the Iron Boots off. If you want to, you can, but you cannot take them off normally. You need to force unequip them. So while you are traveling to another Peahat after flame skip, you can force unequip them by doing like this, and that will stop you from falling down. So it might be easier to aim at Argorok. Of course, it's an equip, so this is a second or two, but if you want to do that because maybe it's easier, then go ahead. And then, you know, if you're on Peahat number 2, then you can just immediately target the next Peahat number 3. And then you are in position to just hold right and flick and release for Argorok. And you hold right during the startup animation of the clawshot. And this is good practice. I want to always, if I'm pretending that Argorok is the second pillar, I want to stop holding the control stick so that Link is aiming right here when he's not moving anymore. And if I'm a little bit off like this, I can just do a small little flick, like a small flick, or like a small adjustment by aiming very slowly and then releasing. And you're falling down all this time, but it's okay because Argorok is also going down a bit, I think. Anyway, as long as you're quick enough with the aiming, you should be fine. Now, let's say you've done that, so that's cycle 2. Now it's time for cycle 3. And cycle 3 is way different. So this boss, there's a lot of stuff to remember, which is why I'm making this video. I would prefer it to not be a live recording, obviously, but it's just the demand is so high, so I'm just gonna do that now, since it's much quicker to make a live recording video. Alright, so again, you bring him down, you've slashed him 4 times or whatever. You do the automatic backflip, and you still have Iron Boots on, you know, because you didn't put them off, unless you did, with the force unequip. But let's say we didn't, so during the backflip, you press X, so you don't walk around like this. And it's cycle 3, so again, roll about 2 times. Now I started to walk before I rolled, but and then side up equip Iron Boots, aim as high up as possible. I know I could be aiming higher up than this, because you can always reach the middle there from the bottom. I'm very close. See, I'm close to the middle now. If I move a bit forward, I should be able to reach the middle. Almost. Yeah, basically the middle. But my maximum up angle was this before. So if you're too close, that's bad. You can see now, I'm not high, I wouldn't be as high up on the pillar if I was standing this close, like versus this. So the spacing can be important. I mean, it's okay to target down. I'll try targeting down here and I'll show you what it does. So I can still be able to reach this spot, but now you can see the top is no longer clawshotable. But as luckily, above the line is still visible, so I'm okay. So you don't need to target for the first one to be right here, but it's preferable. Because right now I'm further away than I was previously, but I can still target above here, so it's good. You can unequip the iron boots either now or on the next pillar. That doesn't really matter, just make sure that you have them off, it's important. Alright, so far it's looking like cycle 1 and 3. 1 and 2, I mean. But at this point, you want to hit and release target twice, and then hold it again. So, hit, release, and then hold. It's better, I should have said that. Hit, release, hold. Hit, release, hold. Because the first time you target, because you're on this side of the pillar, you will look to the left Peahat. And this time you want to go right. Again, it may work perfectly fine going to the left, but the setup I'm going to show you, I'm going to go the other way. And it's an easy way to differentiate between cycle 1 and 2 and 3. So, you can switch the target by targeting you will target the left one automatically. And then you release and quickly target again, and Link will shift over to the right Peahat. And that's good. And then you can charge the clawshot, that doesn't really matter. At this point it doesn't matter if you have it already charged and you're targeting the right one, or if you're targeting the right one and you just like this, and you just tap it. Doesn't matter. At this point it doesn't matter. So again, you still want to go for the Peahat when you hear Argorok make a noise. And this time you want to clawshot 4 Peahats, and the first one you clawshot counts as number 1. And you just go immediately. So you clawshot onto the first one and you just keep holding target, and you go around on the right side this time. So the first one, you count 1. Immediately target the next one, 2. Next one, 3. Next one, 4. On this one, the 4th one, you stop. Again, you do the hit, release, and hold for targets. So you turn around and target the other way. Alright, I'm going to recap. So we targeted Peahat 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're over here in this part of the arena. And at this point, we don't want to go further this way. We want to go back, kind of. So we hit and release targets, so Link doesn't look this way, but this way, back to the previous Peahat, Peahat number 3. So that is by doing that. And you keep holding target, and you keep clawshot charged. Actually, you don't have to charge the clawshot at all. It's just something I do. But yeah, you just keep looking at the Peahat. If you have the clawshot charged, you need to claw. Kind of, because there's no reason to charge the clawshot. I just have a habit of doing it. But you need to look towards Peahat number 3. You're hanging on Peahat number 4 and you're looking towards Peahat number 3. And now you're just staring at Peahat number 3. And you're waiting for Argorok's flames to completely cover it. Don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't predict it, react to it instead. So when you actually see the flames covering the 3rd Peahat, you press X. And that will make you drop down with the Peahat, and Argorok will turn around and blow fire at the other direction, like pretty much 180 degrees from where he was looking. And then you want to aim in first person mode, aim towards Argorok, which should be a bit to the right. If this is Argorok again, you aim at him, and then he will start to spout flames again on the other side of the arena. And at this point, again, you don't have to hold to charge the clawshot. You can have the clawshot be like this. But I have a habit of holding it, and I think you will as well, just naturally, because you're always ready to clawshot something. And right here, you need to unequip the iron boots as soon as he does the flamethrower again on the other side of the arena. But, and a really important note, if you're holding the clawshot like this, it's charged, it's ready to fire. If I release Y now, and then hit X to unequip iron boots, nothing happens, because as you can see, the icon on iron boots, it's faded. I can't do anything, I need to wait for the animation to finish. And that's bad, because as soon as he shoots fire, you must unequip iron boots. So what you can do is either, obviously, don't charge the claw shot and just wait like this. And you should probably, it should be possible to achieve this by just hitting C-stick up to go into first person mode. Oops, fell down. Yeah, because A button is also dropped down. But yeah, he's hitting C-stick up like this should be fine. But what I do, I keep it, I just hold Y to go into first person mode. But since I'm holding Y now, I can't release Y and hit X to do anything with iron boots. But I can hit X while holding Y. And that will cancel the aim. So that's what I do. So I use my right thumb on the Y button, and then I use my right index finger to hit X as I'm charged up like this to equip iron boots. Or to unequip, I should say, because yeah, it's unequip at this point because you put them on, so you turn around. So I'm looking at him. He starts to fire flames at the other side of the arena, and as soon as he does that, I hit X and release. And okay, you can't really see my controller, but if I hit X right now and release, I'm still holding Y. I'm gonna release Y now. So like that button just gets stored or whatever. So you release Y as well after you release X. Alright, so I'm gonna hit X, release, and then release Y. So now I'm holding nothing, and then quickly aim in first person mode again because you want to clawshot Argorok. And then this is about like 1.5 or 2 seconds you have, something like that, before like he will straighten his back because he's now finished with the flame attack. Because what you just did was flame skip. You're just you're just on the other side of the arena, and you are looking directly at his crystal, so that's good. So you're doing flame skip and like the traveling all in one go kind of. So he's like straightening his back, and as soon as he's done doing that, then you can release Y, because at that point the crystal on his back is clawshotable, but during the animation of the flame you can't clawshot the crystal, so you need to wait for him to like stretch backwards and like be like, when his back is straight, then you can release Y to clawshot him. And you can time it so like by the time his back is straight, the clawshot has reached him, so you can fire the clawshot before his back is straight, as long as the clawshot reaches him as long as his back is straight by the time the clawshot reaches him. So I just spent like 27 minutes explaining this without even showing you the boss. But it's a complicated boss if you want to do it quickly and do it well. So right now I've explained absolutely everything. Now I will do it. Where are the vines? Here. But I'm not gonna pause at all. Not really, because there's no point, because I spent all this time explaining it. So I hurry up to this Peahat. Let's grab a heart. Why not? Where's he going? He's going over there. He always approaches from the open side there, not in between the pillars. Alright, we're ready. I wait for the target to appear. Holding control stick up, because Link will be looking the wrong way. Then quickly aim into first person mode and go at the bottom line. So right there, I held straight up, but the pillar was to my up left. That happened because I wasn't exactly at the spot I usually stand. Like, I was a bit further left on the outer ring of the circle than usual. But I quickly reacted to it. I was like, okay, the pillar is over here, I'll just aim a bit more left. So, the more precise you are with your positioning, the easier it gets. But you can be a bit off sometimes, which just happened, but it's okay. You can just fix it like that. Now, this boss does require a lot of practice if you want to do it well. Not only because there's lots of stuff to remember, but you need to have good aim. And that doesn't just happen. It's a lot of practice. I actually recommend doing the old route for Seed in the Sky after double clawshot, because those rooms are pretty aim intensive. Alright, so I'm gonna void out to respawn Argorok at the top. So I don't need to put Iron Bits on at this point. Yeah, I can roll like 3 times. I did a side up. There's no need. Alright, so I'm pretty low. I need to be really far left here. I mean right. Oh, I almost clawshot too late. There's the audio cue. Alright, charge it. The camera pans, release. There we go, I did a flick. I may have miscounted the Peahats for cycle 1 and 2, but that's okay because it's very obvious. You can see it if you're correctly behind him or not. I took the Iron Bits off there while I was charging the clawshot. Oof, that was almost bad. Alright, let's count this as 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 4. So add 1 number to what I said. But you can clearly see that it shouldn't be possible to get around his back with only targeting 3. So I guess Peahat 1, 2, and 3. I guess we can add Peahat 0. Alright, cycle 3. Oh, oops. That can happen. Alright, that's fine. Pretty close to the line. Alright, good. Flick. Make sure Iron Bits are off. 1. Get number 2. Get number 3. Get number 4. Flick again. There, it's covered. You look towards him. You're ready to take out the Iron Bits. Take them off. Aim. Release. Oh, a bit up. Come on. Alright. So, sometimes you don't have to aim up, and it's weird. But, okay. So I can add just 1 note to that. Aim slightly up while you're waiting for his back to straighten out. So you're actually like targeting a bit above the crystal. A bit above it, just a little bit. Alright. This is a very long video, it's 32 minutes long, but I hope that explains this fight well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. But hopefully that clears a lot of things up. So I'm still working on the new tutorial. It's going to be very long, probably 7 to 8 hours long, because it will include 2 routes. 1 beginner-friendly route and the world record route. So look forward to that. It's still in the making, but it's a lot of stuff to write, considering I'm writing the script. Because I don't like doing live recordings like this. I want to have it like... I want it to be more proper. And the last 2 tutorials I did were live recorded, and a lot of things can go wrong, so... And this game is sometimes really hard to explain, so I want to have a proper tutorial, so... Anyway, enough rambling. Hopefully that explains a lot of things, and just you can ask in the Discord any question you want about this game. It's discord.gg/tp. And yeah, see you around.